What's going on, guys? So in this video I want to talk to you about 5 very specific fragrances from one of the more hyped up popular houses as of late. We're talking about Lattafa, super popular when it comes to affordable Middle Eastern fragrances. That a lot of these will be clones with a twist, some of these are more original, some of these will remind you faintly of other things, and so on. But the God's honest truth is they're a great bargain for your money, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about my 5 personal favorites of all the ones that I have. So stay tuned. I had to start things off with one of the best $15 to $20 fragrances money can buy. It's very tropical, a little spicy, but very woodsy. We're talking about Qaed al Fursan. Beautiful, bright, ripe, sweet and juicy pineapple. You'll get a little bit of a Baccarat Rouge vibe from this one. I've seen people say that they get Aventus mixed with Baccarat Rouge. I don't get Aventus just because it has pineapple. Different type of pineapple smell. I don't get all the smokiness, and I don't get a hefty floral tone. I want to say there is a little bit of florals in here, but man, for the $15 to $20 range, this is a banger of a fragrance. Average to slightly above average performance. I usually get 6-7 hours out of it, so 6 to 8 hour range in longevity. And it's lovely. It's quite versatile for being such a tropical fragrance and very unisex. It's pretty hard to beat. I actually did a full review on this one not that long ago. And dare I say, it's blind buy worthy, in my personal opinion. Though I don't typically encourage blind buying, I think for the money, it's absolutely worth experiencing. And it's definitely, in my opinion, one of the best from Lattafa. That's Qaed al Fursan. This next one's just a sweet, jammy beauty of a rose fragrance. We're talking about Bade'e Al Oud. This is Amethyst. So people are going to ask me in the comments, what about Infinity Rose? What about this one? What about that one? I haven't tried them all, but I did do a full review on this one, and I'm thoroughly impressed. My wife, actually, when I put these together, was pulling caps and sniffing them, and this was her favorite. Whew, man, this is such a strong fragrance, too. Very sweet, thick, jammy, very raspberry jam-esque type of smell to this rose. We're going to spray it. Why not? Oh, so beautiful. A little bit of a pink pepper smell that offers a touch of spice, but it's dominated by rose. Little bit of oud wood smell to it, but not real funky. If anything, it adds more of a warm wood tone that goes together with this kind of sweet spice that's offered from the pink pepper. Just a stunning fragrance. Stunning. Has a little bit of an earthy vibe. It kind of comes across as a little bit of a patchouli smell, though I don't remember any patchouli in the notes, but it kind of gives me that moist patchouli type of tone to it. This is just amazing. The quality is actually really good here. It doesn't smell $20 to $30 range like you can get this one for, and it's a powerhouse. Careful with the sprays. You absolutely will fill a room with this one. Very unisex. It's rose dominant, guys, so keep that in mind, but it is beautiful. Is Bade'e Al Oud Amethyst. Some of you are expecting to see this fragrance on the list. It might even be in the thumbnail. It probably will be, but probably the best affordable alternative to Sauvage Elixir is Lattafa Asad. So what's different about this one, and what I really dig about this one, is the twist. It's not one-to-one with Sauvage Elixir. If you want one-to-one, I would suggest Alexandria Fragrances at Sauvage Elixir. That's my favorite like carbon copy to Sauvage Elixir. But this is enjoyable in it for a different reason. There's some pineapple fruity freshness, and this coffee note adds a different layer to the darkness of this fragrance. This is good stuff. So good. Spicy. It's very spicy and woodsy while being very aromatic. There's a little bit of a creamy tone, but like I said, it's got this freshness at the top. Not a super fruity sweet tone, but a noticeable fresh fruit at the top from this pineapple. And like I said, it's a monster performer. Not quite the like face-melting nuclear beast that the original Dior Sauvage Elixir is, but this is up there. This is a straight-up bona fide beast mode fragrance. Well worth your money, punches well above the price point in scent profile, enjoyability, and definitely in performance, because I know that's super important to a lot of you out there. And that's Lattafa Asad. Fun fact, by the way, I did do a full review on this one as well. Now then, this was one of the biggest hype beasts of 2022. It's not one-to-one. It's very much inspired by, regardless of what anybody wants to say. I get a little bit of a coconut smell on my skin, as oddly as that sound, as odd as that is. Super sweet, much more sweet than it is spicy. There's no boozy notes in here, but the benzoin kind of gives the cognac feel that you can expect from Angel Share. But here we're talking about Khamrah. This was one of the biggest hype beasts of last year. At the recording of this, it's second quarter of 2023. Only thing I don't like about it, you see how the collar for the cap, it slides up to where it wiggles, because it literally pulls it up, and I always have to do this and push it down. So it's not secure, but you know, long as the sprayer works, it's all that really matters. Because this is good stuff. Definitely a sweet, very, very sweet, somewhat coconutty twist on the Angel Share DNA. Now, I have other fragrances that are much, much closer to Angel Share, but if you want the sweet rendition, if you like really sweet fragrances, you're going to enjoy this one. Very unisex. Guys that like sweet fragrances are going to enjoy this. Ladies, I've seen a lot of ladies on social media that are big fans of this one, that raved about it, whether they have their own channels and outlets where they talk about fragrances, or just viewers that consume fragrance content. This seems to be very popular among the ladies as well. It was super hyped up last year. Another one, I actually did a full review on all but one of these fragrances, and this one deserved all the hype in my opinion. Hype justified, monster performer, strong lingering sillage. You can fill a room with this one. It is very charismatic and can pull some compliments. It's just delightful. Hands down, the sweetest fragrance in this video, and probably the most unisex. Even though we have a rose heavy fragrance in this video, I would deem this just a little bit more on the unisex side. If nothing else, leaning feminine, because it's just so sweet. Like I said, almost sickeningly sweet. Too sweet for some, I'm sure. But for those that are fans of that style, this is one of the better ones come out in a long time. And it's cheap. And that's Lattafa's Khamrah. Last but not least is another one of those $15 to $20 darlings. Great performer. This is the freshest fragrance, right up there with Qaed al Fursan, because it has aquatic notes here. You'll see online people comparing it to La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique and La Nuit de l'Homme. Faintly, for me, those are much more warm, spicy, and powdery than this. This is way fresher, but beautiful nonetheless. Very aquatic as well. This is Ejaazi Intense Silver. It's super reflective, fingerprint magnet, so it's not going to be easy to show the bottle. I have to do like these wild angles for you to see the front label. But this stuff is great. Of these 5, my wife literally pulled the cap on all 5 of these. She told me this was her favorite. She ended up spraying 2 sprays on her chest. She's currently wearing it right now. It is unisex, but all of these are unisex, really, except I would say Asad's extremely masculine. I can't see too many ladies wanting to wear that, but you never know. But with this one, like I said, it's got this aquatic tone, a very marine tone that really dominates the scent profile. It's a little powdery, and I could have swore in my first impressions there was a violet. Apparently, it's kind of a lavender cardamom combo that creates kind of this smell with the aquatic notes that I thought might have been like violet or violet leaf because it's so aquatic. But I guess that's what's making people say it's one of the La Nuit de l'Homme flankers or La Nuit de l'Homme, whereas I don't get that, because those are much more warm and spicy overall, whereas this, there's no warmth and there's barely any real hefty spice to it. It's more fresh and spicy, if anything else, but extremely aquatic. Another great performer. I don't have a ton of experience with this one, but it rocketed into my top 5 favorites from the house, as you see with it being in this video in the first place. This stuff is great. This is another one. I paid $14.63, I think is what it was, from Fragrance Buy. I'll have links to all 5 of these down below. This is a very well worth it blind buy. Super versatile, year-round freshness that has some depth, some density, and some great performance. So if you just want something a little aquatic in the cold weather, this will work. It has a lot of body to the scent profile. Great stuff. I will be doing a full review on this one as well. It's the only one of the 5 in this video that I've yet to do a full review on, because I just recently got it. But it was so impressive that it deserved a spot in my 5 favorites from the house of all the Lattafas that I own. Again, this is Ejaazi Intense Silver. Well, there's my 5 favorites in my collection that I own personally. If you want to ask in the comments, what about this one? What about that one? Where's that one? I either don't have it or I don't like it as much as these 5. It just is what it is. These are my 5 personal favorite. What's some of your favorites from Lattafa? Definitely sound off below in the comments. Speaking of, until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. Like I said, let me know what's your favorites. Do you feel as strongly about these 5 as I do, or any one of these in particular? Definitely let me know down below. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of my 5 favorites that I own from Lattafa, you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. because they're my 5 favorites. Have a good one, guys.